What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist 8. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. That felt a little aggressive. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be business, Taurus, and all the ways that we can expand on your abundance. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems. Feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Taurus. Now, Taurus, with this spread, I'm going to be going until higher self says stop. We're just working with the energies here. And just so you're all aware, with all of my readings, these aren't gender-specific readings. We're just working with the energies. So apply these cards to people as they make sense for your situation, okay? And then lastly, the decks that I'm using. This one that I'm shuffling, it's an OG deck. It's Aleister Crowley's Stone deck. And the Oracle deck that I'll be using is the Anatomy of a Witch deck. And I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Taurus. But Taurus, let's see. I feel like it might be a little early to kind of start breaking down things, but I feel like that we're in this place of right now where maybe we're going through, I feel like we're going through like a transition right now. You know, maybe we're at this place where maybe we've been kind of struggling with work. You know, maybe there's been there might have been, okay. Maybe there was some trickiness that was going on there. No, let's be serious. Now, I feel like that maybe this is interesting, Taurus. You know, I feel like that maybe some of us might have been in a place where we were dealing with, how do I want to put this? You know, I feel like maybe we were dealing with some kind of toxic environment, possibly. You know, maybe could have been a toxic boss. You know, could have been maybe another coworker. But whatever this is, you know, I feel like that maybe either some of us were either in something right now, or maybe we're transitioning out of something here. And if we're in something right now, Taurus, you know, I was telling Sagittarius something along this lines. You know, they had something that was kind of in a tricky kind of realm here too. And, you know, when we're in devil situations, and however that looks like for you, whether this be any sort of inappropriate behavior, you know, I was telling Sagittarius, check your handbook, you know, first and foremost, before we start, you know, see what it is that we can do, you know, or what are the proper procedures for dealing with something like this. You know, maybe someone was coming at us inappropriately, or whatever the case may be here, Taurus, you know, and you know this, you know, and that's just for some, you know, if we're in something like that, you know, I feel like that's something where we're in a time now where we shouldn't have had to put up with that anyway, but really, your job, you know, people, I feel like sometimes if we're in something like this, you know, I feel like that sometimes maybe, you know, people like to say, well, you know, if you don't do X or whatever, you know, you'll lose your job, you know, blah, 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 this and blah, 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 that. And it's like here, you know, where people think like let's say if this is like a boss, for example, where they might think that people are expendable. Taurus, jobs are expendable. You know, like it's like, you know, sometimes I feel like when we're doing like the interview process, it's like when they're interviewing us, it's just like, wait a minute, why are you grilling me? This as much as me interviewing you is this, you know, we got to work this thing together here, you know, because your company is not going to work if we don't have employees here, you know, and you're just not going to do any, you know, and you might be able to find employees, but are you going to find quality employees? So that's something too, Taurus, know your worth, because you are worth it. more than worth it. And that's just something to keep in mind. If we're worried about losing our job, worried about how we may look, our appearance, that's going to all get itself worked out. But definitely look into that type of stuff. Check your company's, handbook. I feel like that's important. Now, for some others, if we're not into like something so extreme, maybe this could just be like a toxic environment. This is something where, for example, or at least the example that I've been using, I used to work in food and beverage. And I remember sometimes, and I was guilty of it too, every now and again, where we kind of, when it was slow, kind of gather up and maybe talk about like, oh, nothing, shortage of like cups and plates and, things are broken, like no dishwasher's broken, tables wobbling, people suck. Just like if you're in that sort of like toxic type of realm here. Because here's the thing, Taurus, if you know that story, or if you just heard that story of having deja vu, not I feel like when people are doing that, and when I even think about when I used to do it, it's like, okay, we can sit here and complain and perpetuate the problem. Or how about we all sit down, list some things, and maybe we can all get a promotion at the end of this. There might have been like 4 or 5 supervisors that might have been born out of this mix here if we just took a second and partnered up instead of spreading the toxicity around, providing results. You know what I mean? And that's something too, Taurus. I feel like that if we're in something like that, you could be that person that maybe rises up because, I mean, if this has been going on, for however long, you see that no one else is going to take any kind of initiative. And this is Capricorn energy here too, the devil. And I feel like that, if it resonates with you and it feels like something you want to improve, you want to kind of, bring some balance and some harmony in our workplace here, do this, Taurus. And Taurus, this might be something too where, maybe this is something let's say we're working at a place, for example, maybe this is something where bring this up to your supervisor if we notice like toxic behaviors, or if we're noticing things that are bringing down the vibration, because that's going to affect morale. Because it could be, the company that you're at is great, but it might, all it takes is 1 or 2 bad apples, and then, you got a whole, it could potentially sully your tree. And so, I feel like that this is something where if we're caught up in it, try to, one, remove ourselves from it, 'cause here's the thing, sometimes I feel like people think like, oh, well, if you're not kicking it with this Taurus, then we're just gonna, we'll talk about you and blah, blah, blah. Let them talk. If anything, you know what? Talk about me when I'm your boss. Taurus, you can show them that way. But just something I feel like we want to remove ourselves from these type of realms here, Taurus, because then it gets to this place too. It may start off at work, but then we may end up taking this stuff home too. We may at first you might be really good about it, but if we have like a partner, if we got like friends, or even if you're talking to your dog or cat, or even maybe your plants, if we relive that stuff, if something really upset us, and we're in that toxic energy again, that's permeating in now it's in your safe space now, and it just becomes a whole thing, and it throws us all off balance here. It starts affecting with our fortune and all that stuff here, because this is Jupiter and Libra. And I just feel like that if we want to get to this place of harmony again and a place of balance, we're going to have to address this stuff. Either we're going to have to address it, or we're going to have to remove ourselves from the situation. Either maybe see, depending, maybe we can move across to a different department, or maybe work on a different team. Or Taurus, if management doesn't want to do anything about this thing, move on to a whole new company. And if we own our own company, another thing, just be mindful of, who we may be hiring on, making sure, checking in with teammates, making sure the morale is good, making sure that, that everyone is getting along well. And if not, what is that's going on? Do we need to first maybe have a discussion first, because maybe it could just be like a misunderstanding, but play around with this, work with this energy, Taurus, as it makes sense for your situation here, Mark. But whew, all right, that was a lot to unpack. I tell you that when the devil comes in there, it's like, yeah, because you're my first devil card of the business spread. So it's like things might be getting a little bit more serious on your end of your neck of the woods there, Taurus. Because the closest thing that we've had is probably like the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups for me is like a prelude to a devil moment. But you know what, Taurus? Oh, dang, Taurus. But you know what though? Taurus, cool, that's sick because you got you got the Tower and you got the Emperor here. And you know what, Taurus? I feel like that this could be for you. Where do I even want to start with this? I feel like that if we've been in some kind of toxic nonsense, I feel like that, let's say, for example, let's say if we're in something right now and we're sick of it. And, this could be something too, maybe this is even bigger than like your place. Maybe this has been something that's been going on. Excuse me. For example, like when I was talking about food and beverage, I'd like to say it's just like a unique thing to one place, but have been in it as long as I have been. That usually always happens, where we find like there's like an industry like standard, and I feel like maybe Taurus, whatever that is, I feel like whatever that toxic thing or, that tendency, that one negative that may bring down, and it can be in whatever field that you're in right now, Taurus. I feel like that maybe you all can be something that changes up how things are done. This could be something where you could potentially be leaders here, Taurus. Maybe this could be something where you start up your own kind of company. If you've owned a restaurant, maybe starting up your own place where it's like, what, we have zero tolerance for that type of behavior here. If you have complaints, let's turn complaints into solutions. You know what I mean? You can even start implementing new stuff like that, or let's say, maybe we're thinking maybe there's some policies here that maybe some outdated stuff that maybe too, Taurus, that might be keeping you down, or maybe keeping it from, maybe keeping people away from growing. I feel like that challenge the system, and be, within reason, Taurus, but I feel like that if we're not happy with where we're at, either find some ways to change the game up, maybe shake things up, or go out there, Taurus, and I feel like start your own thing, whatever it is that you want to do, because the Emperor here is this energy is about rising up here. This is a mogul, you know what I mean, Taurus? And I feel like if some of us are even a little nervous about that, because maybe even talk about that, it's like, wait, I don't want to be a leader or anything like that. I'm not even sure if I can. Taurus, don't let that scare you, because I don't even mean like, you don't even have to necessarily be like a CEO per se. this could be honestly just as simple as just addressing the situation. You know what I mean? And if they're not met with solutions, then it may be time to take action and go on elsewhere. But I feel like this could also be too, Taurus, that if we want to change things up, if we're tired of the way that something has been going at our company, or maybe if we have our own business, maybe I don't know, if you don't like the way that things are being done, maybe your vision has been taken a weird way, maybe we partnered up with someone and things have gotten kind of weird. I say, Taurus, just go out there and start something and go out there and just shake things up a little bit. And and maybe I'm calling up this king. I promise I'm going to talk about him. I feel like with the Prince of Wands, I feel like that maybe some of us, if we're nervous about what are we going to do, how could we possibly do this thing, Taurus, changing the game up, because that's almost like, you're getting ready to start like a renaissance or like a revolution or something along those lines. When we're if this is unfamiliar territory to us, I get being nervous at first. We all had to start somewhere, but I'm thinking as far as like maybe like even rising up, going to like a manager or something, or a position of where you have more authority and more influence, because maybe don't look at it, maybe if we're thinking about being like an authority figure, maybe we're like, well, I don't want to be like seen as like the boss man, or I want okay, that's fine. Then think of it as you're getting some clout, you're getting some influence so that you can make things happen. Because maybe these problems that you're talking about here, maybe they might be above your pay grade. And then so I find out whose pay grade that it is, and if they don't want to do it, how can you become this person? How can you either become this person or however, Taurus, because I feel like that this could be this situation right here, whatever this devils can pop up here, you can use this as a motivator, And really too, Taurus, and I know this may sound maybe a little big, but you could even possibly become an inspiration, in which Taurus, if you don't think that you can be inspirational, you stop right there, because you absolutely can be. I just got chills pulling this here. And two, because this shows me, Taurus, like really, because Mars is Aries ruler. The fact that you got both the major arcana cards here, higher self has got your back, especially when we get high concentrations of major arcana in a partnership like this, in a duel like this. Taurus, higher self has got your back. It's just, what do you want to do? What do you want to change? What are we trying to see? What foundations are we sick and tired of seeing? And, go out there and do it. This could even be too, Taurus. Maybe we've been in a place, because now I'm thinking big. I'm your dream. I told you we're going to expand on your abundance. Maybe we're even sick and tired of even how some societal stuff has been going down, Taurus. Maybe you want to do something on that realm. Maybe you want to open up like a center, or something. But I feel like, Taurus, if we've had any kind of dreams like that, or just like shaking things up, or, just feeling like that there's just like, it's time to bring some heat, I say bring it, Taurus, because if anyone's going to bring a practical approach to stuff like situations like this, I really feel like earth signs can do it very well. And Taurus, you're a sign, I feel like abundant, and I don't know if I had mentioned this, but, with you being your ruler, being Venus, which is the Empress, and, I could talk about the Empress all day, but the Empress is, about abundance. I feel like Taurus and, Libra is the other sign that the Empress rules. You're naturally abundant, and whatever that looks like for you, just abundant in life, and I feel like that this is something where, if you take this abundance and you bring this dream, and then you can start the stuff here and then spread that abundance around, Taurus, and really just kind of really help, just like, oh man, I just, Taurus, I really feel like that there's something just big that can happen here. You know what, too? Be creative with this, Taurus. Really think, even when I'm talking about, as, you saw how this dream escalated. I say, don't limit yourself. If it's something that even intrigues you a little bit, play with that. Think about that, because this Prince of Wands, this is Leo's card, and Leo is very imaginative energy, fire energy. It's inspirational. It gets you going. It's that hustle. Or that not that hustle, that oomph, that push, that we need, that inspiration. So yeah, just something to think about, Taurus. I really, you I think have gotten, like, as far as like these business readings go, I feel like that yours is really shaping up to do something something really cool here, Taurus. Ooh. And Taurus, look at all this major arcana stuff going on here. Now we got, speaking of Libra, now we got Libra's card here. And Taurus, I feel like that maybe for some of us, with adjustment card popping up, make sure that I just part way too, to kind of double back to that trickiness earlier, toxicity stuff with the devil. The adjustment card can deal with law too, any sort of like legal matters or something along those lines here. So I feel like that if we're going through something right now, I will say that I do feel like that things are going to come to a close here soon, Taurus, if we're going through something right now, some kind of weird kind of legal thing right now. But I feel like with this adjustment card here as well, Taurus, back to just kind of more so in general, I feel like that this is asking you to see maybe just kind of look around at your place of work and see if there are just like some imbalances right now. I feel like that there's something there that needs your touch. I'm not quite sure if that makes sense, but I feel like that maybe there's something that you might be noticing, that maybe there's an improvement that maybe we can capitalize on, maybe at your place. And you know what too, Taurus, even just looking at this, Taurus, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing in business, let's just like in your job. I feel like if we're thinking about leveling up, or as far as like maybe going for like a promotion or starting our own business, or dealing with some nonsense at our above, getting our stuff back in harmony, I really feel like this reading is asking you, whatever it is that you're thinking about, is taking action. Because I'm just even looking here, you have 3 of the 4 cardinal cards. You got Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. All you're missing is Cancer, and the cardinal signs are the initiators of the zodiacs. They're the ones that are ushering in. They're the ones that start, and then your sign is a fixed energy. Your sign is when we get the ball rolling, you keep the momentum. That's fixed energy. You keep it. Once you fixated on something, it's done. We're gonna get it to completion here. But I feel like that maybe some of us, we might be dragging our feet on something. Because even now, when I'm thinking about this devil, it's not even that I feel like it dismisses the, any kind of shadiness that's going down. But I really feel like that there's something here, Taurus, that if you give it your attention, if you start this thing and you see it through, you're going to be rewarded here, Taurus. There's going to be, and follow your heart with this thing here. Because this is Venus in Aries here, and I feel like when you find that thing, that passion, go for that. And that's another thing too, Taurus, with whatever it is that you're getting ready to do, make sure that we're passionate in what we're doing, that we really enjoy what we're doing, that we're not just, anymore. All right, let's see. You know what? I think I want to, let me see. I just want to check to make sure there weren't anything else before we get into some oracle cards here. Taurus. Oh, Taurus. There is something else. And I was with these 4s. I was like, why am I looking at these 4s? These 4s here. I've been doing a little bit of studying into numerology here. So, definitely kind of check into this, kind of double check my research here. But the 4s, if I'm not mistaken, the 4s are a number of like stability, and they're it's a number of hard work. Oddly enough, in numerology, I'm in my personal year 4 right now. And this is a year of action, of putting in work, of putting in, it's that we're at the grind right now. We're hustling, we're in Emperor energy right now. Emperor, honestly, and even too Capricorn, and I'm a little less devil, a little more Capricorn energy is what I'm thinking. But yeah, Taurus, even just all of the signs here, I feel like that whatever it is that you want to do, follow your heart, and I feel like that higher self has got your back. I really do think that. But let's get into some oracle cards here, Taurus, so I can get you out of here and contemplating whatever it is that you're about to do here, because you really like. I'm not even sure. I hope I did this reading justice, because really you're getting ready to usher in something really sick here, Taurus. And this could be something, since we're talking in the next month with all this Aries energy going on, you got 4 Wands, Emperor in the ruler. Maybe this is something, if we're thinking about maybe kicking up something around the springtime, maybe around Aries season, where we just started Pisces season, but this gives you some time to work with this Pisces energy, work with this creative energy right now. Maybe get some stuff cooking up in the mix here, so that when Aries energy comes around here, we can take action. Okay, any more? All right, Taurus, looks like we're gonna keep all of these here. Let's switch back over. Yeah, Taurus. Well, I think you got this card with me before. So, Taurus, let's start with your vision, because you got the vision in reverse here. And I feel like that if some of us, because maybe this is something that's been like maybe kind of on your brain, just kind of on and off for a while, and we're just like, I'm not sure, I'm not quite positive what that is. But I feel like, Taurus, I feel like that if we've even entertained the idea of wanting to do something more, or start something, I don't know, just like I feel like that there's possibly could be like just like some kind of good idea, whatever good ideas you have cooking right now. I say get that vision down. I say get a game plan. You know what I mean? Because there's something here that I feel like you got the vision, the nourish, and the protect card all in reverse, and then we got the alignment card upright. But with this nourish card, I feel like that we may be, and it's not to say that we're not doing what fulfills you right now, but I feel like there may be some areas in our lives or maybe in like our business that maybe we can be doing some more in. Maybe we can expand on, maybe we can do, I'm not sure, Taurus. I just feel like that there's something here that I feel like it's like calling you, maybe, like that's to feed some of this energy into, and this could even be something like, maybe if this is not like a transition, maybe you're not thinking about changing jobs per se. If we've been even thinking about like starting up like a hobby or something along those lines, just explore that, Taurus. Just start up something new. I feel like is wanting to get started up here, and protect that idea, Taurus. I feel like that, and not that I feel like that there are people going to like steal your idea or anything like that, but just something to be mindful. Protect yourself from maybe people taking your ideas, but also too from like criticisms. If this is something that we've been thinking about, but we're not sure if how people are going to receive it, or maybe even how we think about it. Protect this. Make sure we're protecting our whatever from others and ourselves, because the fact that you're even initiating something, that you're starting something up, I mean, it's wonderful. You're creating something, you're manifesting, so protect that. And I do, Taurus, I feel like once we start, check in with yourself, just kind of do like an ask of just like, where am I at in life? Do I like what I'm doing? Is this fulfilling me? And if not, just see where we can get in alignment. See where are some areas that we might be wanting for more. Maybe we're doing okay financially, but we're looking to, maybe we're not feeling fulfilled in what we're doing, or maybe we found our fulfillment, but we're just not quite feeling steady in it yet. So it's like, what are some ways maybe we can help get this idea, make it a little more grounded, make it so that it can take care of us, that the energies are working together. But yeah, Taurus, just kind of, just whenever you get a moment, just if this is resonating with you, or if you've even been thinking about possibly, maybe switching things up or going for a change, Taurus, I say explore that, because I really think you can boss. You can boss up here like I don't think you understand, because I don't know if I really understand, because even for how little these cards are here, this spoke volumes, I really, man. So just something to think about there, Taurus. But I think I'm going to leave that there. So hopefully you like that, Taurus. I hope that made sense. This was very interesting for sure. But give this a thumbs up if you liked it, and share this, Taurus. I feel like this is like inspirational to me, like what you could be doing, even when I'm thinking about just like what the cards, just like their meanings, if we were to take like take your emperor energy, and just to address any sort of like injustices or any sort of like toxicity or any sort of like just nonsense, and bring harmony back to life here. I really feel like that peace can happen. But yeah, share that, and then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. I'm getting, what, Taurus, if you get Taurus out here starting up stuff, maybe Taurus, when you're starting up stuff, you're missing a Cancer, so maybe we'll partner up, Taurus. Who knows? And then I'll be all over social media. We'll be posting things. We'll take selfies. It'll be a good. I'm just kidding with you. I mean, if you got good ideas, Taurus, or you think we can collaborate, I'll totally kick it with you. But but you know what I mean, Taurus. And then that's where I'm at with social media. Lastly, You don't got any Cancer here, but if you have Cancer in your placements, maybe you want to work with a Cancer, or maybe you're working with a Cancer, possibly thinking about it. Come check out my channel, the Sheridan Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. It's a good old time. We discuss lunar shenanigans and all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. Man, more Aries energy. 3 of Wands. That's what I'm talking about. And let's see what your Oracle card is. Lunar shenanigans. The waxing and waning. And Taurus, I feel like that the energy is waxing. I feel like, if anything, I feel like that if this here, something's heating up. Just check in, be mindful of any kind of opportunities that might be cooking up in the mix, Taurus, that might be speaking to you. And then, Taurus, go for that thing. If this is something that is where you see where there can be expansion, it resonates with you, go for it, and get this, because it's not that I feel like that this energy movement, I'm thinking with the waxing and waning, yes, energies wax and wane, and it's not like I feel like you're going to miss out on an opportunity per se, but I feel like that this would be a good time for you, if you've been thinking about something, to strike while the iron is hot. You got I'm even thinking about, you got Jupiter in Aries right now, which, Jupiter's going to favor action. You got, it's not quite there yet, but, Pluto's going to be going into Aquarius, expansion. I think that Venus just entered into Aries not too long ago. There's a lot of stuff that your ruler entered into Aries not too long ago. So that can be something too. That can be a sign. Even your rulers, the Empress is taking action here, Taurus. I was about to call you Aries. All this Aries here. And, I feel like that really, Taurus, I really feel like that there can be just mad abundance that can come from this situation for you and for your soul tribe, and just all. But it's paying attention to the energies, and when things are ramping up, not being afraid of it either, and because I get where, sometimes rising up to a situation might feel a little uncomfortable at first. We may feel kind of nervous, like might not be sure what we're doing, what it is, but that's okay. Be with the discomfort. Emperors, every emperor has been through some sort of discomfort at some sort of time, and even the emperor even gets afraid sometimes. But the emperor uses fear as fuel. It uses the insecurities as inspirations. You know what I mean? Oh, we're cooking up now. You see how we're cooking up stuff here, Taurus? So, yeah, Taurus. Go change the game up, you trendsetter, you game changer, I'm with it. So let me get you out of here so you can get that started up. So stay safe out there, okay? And you know what? If we did resonate with that legal devil nonsense, stay safe out there. Get all the information that you need. Make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. And Taurus, it may be, if we're in something like that, it may feel kind of crappy right now. But you got both of these cards here. These are good completion cards for me. And the fact that they're both 4s, synchronicity, 44, it's like, I feel good about that. We're going to get on the other end of this thing, and then, you're going to rise up. You're going to get harmony again, and you're going to rise up. So, yeah, stay safe out there. And Taurus, raise that vibration to Mars. I mean, you got the energy for it. To show and what. And then, pass Mars, and then go tell the Empress I said, hey. Hit up Venus, too, while you're at it. She's chilling in Aries, too. And I will, sorry, now we're getting silly. And then I will catch you on the next one. Later.